Syrian Emine. During my university years, while studying health management and frequently interacting with doctors and healthcare professionals, I often viewed life through the lenses of race and individual identity. In times when my loved ones faced health issues, I engaged in virtuous acts of helping them. I was striving to be a free individual who understood the importance of family and social bonds. After all, is it possible to be human without others, or to have a society without connections? Despite all my mother's objections, I, the most cherished of my life, and my father's favourite, who stormed the catwalks and was familiar with the sound of shutters clicking, encountered Emine from Syria during a time when my mind was filled with unresolved noises. One day, while buried in my daily tasks as usual, I was startled by the sound of my cell phone ringing. Seeing the name of a dear older sister on the screen, I felt both happy and surprised. I had no idea that my life was about to change the moment I answered the phone. After exchanging greetings and pleasantries, my interlocutor said, "Dear sister, there is a little girl. Her whole body is almost burnt. The poor child is in a terrible state. You came to my mind. If you could come and see her, maybe you could help through some doctors you know." I expressed my get-well wishes and started asking questions to understand what had happened. When she said she was burned in a heavy bombing in Syria, I was shocked. Inwardly, I thought, what are these Syrians doing in my country? And I was drowning in the belief that humanity's worth was based on race. Amidst the parade of strange thoughts in my mind, I reluctantly said, "All right, sister, I'll take care of it and even visit, just to avoid hurting the person on the other side. I am devoted to keeping my promises. Even if words lack a soul, promises do not. They sometimes carry hope, sometimes sorrow on their shoulders. Every hope is a seed planted for tomorrow in my eyes. Driven by the obligation to visit this little one in the hospital, and still carrying my unrefined human values, I knocked on the door and entered. For hospital rooms and patients, the concept of time is something much greater than the conflict between the clock hands. As they groan under the weight of endless minutes, they melt in the crucible of timeless hopes. Unaware that the scene I was about to encounter would shatter me, I walked in to find a small army of relatives, a few men and women, surrounding a child lying in bed, burnt and bandaged all over. Her name was Emine. Originally from Syria, she was a direct witness to the regime's self-imposed war in her homeland. After the initial greetings, I sat at the edge of her bed, and Emine looked at me with sorrowful eyes. Her gaze was like the explosion of thousands of bombs inside me, piercing and intense. I was on the verge of a downpour of sorrow. She asked her uncle for the phone in Arabic, gestured for me to look at the screen, and there I saw a beautiful, angelic little girl. As I thought to myself, maybe a friend, a relative, or a cousin, she turned to me, locked her eyes onto my soul, and whispered softly, "Ain," meaning me in Arabic. Silently screaming, "That girl is me, that beautiful child is me," she asked her heart-wrenching question, "Can you give me back my eyes, my face, my nose, even my lips?" The translation of these words from Arabic to Turkish ignited a massive fire within me, unleashing indescribable storms and earthquakes in my soul.